Mahood. Today we're going to make chocolate brownies. First, I'm going to put on my apron and wash my hands. Right, here's the list of ingredients that you're going to need. Okay, so the first thing on the list is butter. Okay, you can use a block of butter like this, or if you've got something like clover or spread, then that will be fine as well. Okay, you're going to need some oil. Now it doesn't matter what sort of oil you use. This is vegetable oil. If you've got sunflower oil, olive oil, corn oil, coconut oil, it doesn't matter. Any sort of oil is fine. Okay, you're going to need caster sugar. If you haven't got caster sugar, then normal sugar will be absolutely fine as well. But if you've got it, use caster sugar. You're going to need 2 eggs. It doesn't really matter what size. These look like large, medium is fine. And also some vanilla extract. This might also be called vanilla essence. You've probably got some at the back of your cupboard somewhere. Plain flour. Now, if you've only got self-raising, then that will be fine as well. Cocoa powder. Now, this is cocoa powder. If you've got drinking chocolate and no cocoa powder, just use that instead. You're going to need a pinch of salt, and then the best bit, some chocolate. Now, if you've got leftover Easter eggs, well done. You can use them, just smash them up a bit, or little bars of chocolate, or little mini eggs, or anything that you fancy that's chocolatey. You can chuck that in at the end. I'm going to use 90 grams, which is 3 of these little bars. Okay, right, so before we start, it's a good idea if you get all of your ingredients out and then get all of the equipment that you need. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a tin, right? And it needs to be about 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Okay, if you've got a bigger one, then what you can do is you can use some kitchen foil and make a little wall so that you're only using the bit that's 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Okay, you're also going to need some greaseproof paper to line your tin with so your brownies don't all stick to your tin. You're going to need either a whisk or an electric mixer like this. Either is fine. A pan to melt your butter in, and then a wooden spoon, a spatula, and a fork. Okay. Further up on the list, which I forgot to mention, is a sieve for sieving your flour and your cocoa powder. And obviously you're going to need a mixing bowl. Okay, and some weighing scales, and then just some little bowls or plastic tubs or something to put your ingredients in when you've weighed them out. Okay, all of the ingredients out, and we've got all of the equipment ready. We've got our apron on and we've washed our hands, so we are ready to start baking. Now the first thing that we need to do is turn the oven on. Okay, now you're going to need a grown-up helper to help you with some of these things, okay? But the oven needs to be on 175. Say 175. And we're just going to leave it on so it gets nice and hot while we do the baking. Okay, next thing to do is to get your tin, and you need to line it with your baking greaseproof paper. Right. So you might need to measure out how big the paper you're going to need is. But what I've got 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to put one in this way, and then one is going to go across there. So then when I've got my mix all ready, it won't stick to the pan and I'll be able to get it out. Okay, right now, next thing to do is to weigh out the ingredients, because then it'll be much easier to get on with baking. So I'm going to put my ingredients, when I've weighed them out, I'm going to put them in these bowls. Okay, I've got my little weighing scales. So let's see, what's first on the list? It is 115 grams of butter. 115 grams of butter. So I'm just going to pop that in a bowl. Now I'm going to weigh out my caster sugar. So I need 225 grams of this. Have a look. Put that on. Nice and straight. So 225. Let's have a look. Go, 225 grams of caster sugar. Put that in another bowl. Flour. And I need 65 grams of this. There we go. That looks like 65 grams. Stick that in yet another bowl. And next, I want some cocoa powder. Get on there. So 55 grams of this. There it goes. A bit more. Yeah, that looks like 55 grams. Put that in there. Crack my eggs and put them in a bowl as well. So let's get my eggs. There they are. Smash, smash, smash. And then get hold of my fork and give them a little mix up. Mix, 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 mix. Yeah, they look mixed. Okay, and finally, I'm going to get hold of my chocolate and break it into chunks. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Smells good. 5, 6, 7, 8. 11, 12. Okay, we're all weighed out, so it's time to get baking. Now, first thing I need to do is put the butter in the pan so that I can get it melted. There it goes. Right, now I'm going to have to do this on the hob, so you will need a grown-up to help you here. Light on. Now that's going to take a couple of minutes to melt. So while it's melting, I will go and get my other things ready in the bowl. Measure 1 tablespoon of oil into the mixing bowl. Here's my oil and here's my tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon oil in the bowl. Okay, and then it says put the sugar in the mixing bowl as well. So here's my sugar, in it goes. Now we need to wait for that butter to melt. The butter's all melting, and it's bubbling at the sides, which is good because having nice hot butter going into this mix is what's going to make the brownies nice and sort of crackly and crispy on the top. So I'm going to pour my hot butter into the bowl where my sugar and my oil are already in, and I'm going to get my whisk and whisk them up. So you can use a whisk like this, or if you're feeling a bit lazier, then one of these will do the job even quicker. But give it about 2 minutes of whisking at this point. Let's get our mussels working. A couple of minutes, it's going to look like this. Right, and the next thing to do is we're going to add the eggs into here. Okay, so we cracked them into the bowl before, we mixed them up, so now we're going to stick them in the mixing bowl. Okay, and there go. Alright, and then we're going to put 2 teaspoons of the vanilla extract into the mixing bowl as well. So there's my teaspoon. 1, 2. And then we're going to get busy with the whisk for another 2 minutes. Now, and then we're going to pop the flour in. Now we need the sieve at this point. Get the sieve and sieve the flour in. Let's try not to get it everywhere. In it goes. Okay, now not mixing yet, because then we're going to get the cocoa and pop that in. Now if it's a bit lumpy like mine is, then what you might need to do is get hold of a spoon just to push it through the sieve like this. That's it, it's all gone. Right, now, we're not going to use the whisk now because we don't want to over mix. So we've got to be gentle at this point. If we mix it too much, it's going to go spongy, and we want them to be nice and fudgy and squishy, not spongy. We also need a pinch of salt, so literally, like so much, a little pinch of salt. In it goes. And then we're going to get a wooden spoon and gently mix it together. Nice and gently, and then as soon as it's all in, then you stop mixing. Okay, don't mix too much, because otherwise you'll end up with biscuits or sponge cakes and not brownies. So when it looks like this, it's all mixed, it's time to get it in the tin. I get my spatula just to scrape my batter off my spoon, and then put the batter into the tin that we lined with the greaseproof paper before. Now if you see, I've kept my greaseproof paper coming up the sides because that's going to make it easier for me to lift it out later. Okay, so I'll just give it one quick mix with the spatula, make sure I've not missed any bits, and then I'm popping it into the tin. Try and get all of the batter out before Jess gets a chance to lick the bowl. Into the tin. It's looking delicious already. It's in the tin and it's nice and smooth across the top. So now get your bits of broken Easter egg, your chocolate bars, whatever you're going to use, and put them over the top. Now you can cut it up smaller if you want, but we like big chocolate chunks in our family. So pop those in. Ooh, looking delicious already. Yum yum. I'm so tempted to eat a piece, but I'm going to put it all in the tin. Jess is not having a piece either. Nope, no piece going to Jess. All the chocolate is in the tin, and now it's ready for the oven. Okay, so we preset the oven before, So it's on 175. I'm going to pop it in the tin. And it needs to cook for 25 minutes. So if you've got a timer, it would be really good to set that for 25 minutes. I've been in the oven for 25 minutes, so let's have a little look. Looking tasty. Now I'm just going to give a little jiggle. Right, mine are wobbling a little bit still in the middle, so I'm going to give them one more minute and then I'm going to take them out. Right, it's time for the brownies to come out. Have a look. Now, this is very hot, so obviously you need to throw it up, and it's got to sit and cool now before anybody does anything else with it, Jess.
Turn the oven off.
Here they are, cut up, still warm. I'll just sample the first one.